I'm going to start by teaching how we do the martial arts salute today. So first of all, this is a Tai Chi hand. We'll be going into this more later, but here's one way you can get a great Tai Chi hand. You can sort of squish your fingers together, squish them together really, really hard, and then relax. Okay, that's one way to do it. But you'll notice this we call the tiger mouth, that the tiger mouth is not very open. See how there's some distance between? Now, the tiger mouth, it would be better if it were open more. Let's do it the other way. Stretch, 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 stretch. Don't hurt yourself. And then relax. Okay? Now, what this does is it tends to, at least on my hand, put my fingers a little too far apart. But it does a really nice thing for the tiger mouth. And you notice that it's curved. You see that nice palm curve that we've got here in both of those, right? So what we want is actually for you to start, even in your hands and your fingertips, to feel this gentle, dynamic extension where everything is kind of pulled in both directions. But again, it's that 70% rule. So there should be power and presence in your hands. Okay, that's a Tai Chi hand. And it curves a little. And this is the tiger's mouth. It is always hungry. What is it hungry for? It likes to grab. We'll be connecting and grabbing and pulling. All right. So that's the tiger's mouth. It's always hungry. It's always interested in what might be nearby in order to eat. Right. So this is our hand. So I am not going to mirror you right now. I figure you can get your right hand. And we're also going to do a fist with that right hand. You'll notice if you know American Sign Language, perhaps, that this is an S in American Sign Language. So what we've done is we've just brought our fingers down and gently closed and put our thumb across. The reason we do not put our thumb inside is because we're concerned that we might hurt our thumb in there. So we're going to keep our thumb on the outside, and we don't use this front face, all right, in our art. So we're also, you look at your, when you're making a fist, look at your fist face here, this face. And, you know, some of us are going to be like this, and maybe we can't do anything about that, but we would really like that flat, because this is a surface where we might be doing something, right? So we want this surface to be flat. All right. So make an S in American Sign Language with your right hand. And then with your left hand, you're going to make this nice, gently extended, curved, open shape, right? With power and energy. Lovely. Remember, there's some distance. There's some distance here, right? And you can get that distance this way, or you can get that distance this way, right? It comes naturally, right? And then once you're there and you've relaxed, I want you to put a little of that stretch back in it. Just a little bit of that stretch so that you can feel that. All right, so that's our hand. This is our fist. We're going to put the face of our fist in the palm of our hand, right hand, left hand, in the palm of our hand. And then for humility, we are going to cover with our thumb. That's the way we do it. All right. So we're going to cover with our thumb. Relax our shoulders. Relax our shoulders. We'll be doing body shape here and there as we go on. It's very important. See how my elbows droop and I'm not in like this. I'm out like this. All right. And then we're going to just extend out. Extend out. Maybe with a little turn push. All right. So, ready? Fist with the right hand, hand with the other one, comes together, thumb on the eye in the back. And hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right, wonderful. Really good to have you here. That would be our salute. All right, today we're going to warm up. As I said a little earlier, we're going to do one more time sort of through the joints of the body. We won't be doing that often. Otherwise, we'll always be doing some small warm up that is relevant to finding today's teaching and learning in our bodies. So we will be doing that today as well. And then today we're going to invent the bow step. I did want to ask before we get going too far, if anyone actually did any of the activities that we did last Saturday over the week. Did anyone actually try any of those? And if so, would you come forward and just, let me know? Mary, I see your hand up. John, I see you coming forward. Just jump in and tell what happened. Crystal too. John, why don't you go first?
Yeah, good morning. I did practice a little bit of Tai Chi in the park and was focusing on the stickiness of my lower body and really trying to slow things down. That was helpful. And I also referred to some of the videos that you referred me to, us to. And that was also nice to see where things I don't do right, I could do better at.
Well, as Nancy Lucero, one of our co-owners and directors of the center right now, the Tai Chi Center right now, it says, when you find you have a habit that is not matching the standard, be delighted. Number one, you found it, and number two, you've been practicing. Right? There's something in your body for you to work with, and Tai Chi will find a way. So if you have found that and you're interested in correcting it, yeah, that's a lifetime journey, and I'm certainly on that journey myself. Mary, what did you have?
I was walking around the sticky planet a lot.
Did you find anything out about that?
Yeah, I'm working my feet a lot. I'm having some trouble with my feet, so that's a really good exercise to kind of move those feet around.
Sounds good. Yeah. Very good. How about you, Crystal?
Actually, my answer is very much like hers. I spent a lot of time walking around on a sticky planet, mostly because I was amusing myself. And
you go ahead.
Yeah, I was doing some yoga recently and noticed that my ankles and feet have gotten really out of shape and weak. And so I was trying to kind of think about that as I was doing it to, get some movement and exercise in.
Yeah, so part of what we're trying to do is build body awareness, and part of what we're trying and strength. And part of what we're trying to do is also find in our bodies what's natural and what's not, and what, when you feel it, suddenly feels very right. Anyone else have comments? All right. Well, let's go on then. And I'm gonna, as I did a little bit last time, we're gonna just warm up some joints here. So I did last time. I'm gonna start this way, but you folks can, unless you want to do this all the time, you can be looking at me straight. I just want you to be able to see my body a little bit. So remember last time when we were warming up our joints, we kind of jiggled a little. We may not have done it just in this order, but let's just do this now. We'll do it again later. Just a little bit of jiggling, just sort of letting your body bounce up and down. Do you hear my voice? If you're really relaxed when you do this, it'll be a little bit like, when you're a kid and you're really relaxed and someone sort of beat on your back and you went, right? You can hear that in my voice. So enjoy that moment. And then if you can stretch. And I'm hearing a little bit of background here, so if you think there's any, just listen to your environment. And if there's some in your environment, take care of it. But I love that so many people are unmuted. And then what I'd like you to do is just sort of hook the top of your head up to maybe a fishbowl. Let's just put a fishbowl up there right now, because we're just going to be doing some exercises, but it's kind of a nice idea to keep that fishbowl there. So keep that fishbowl there, ground those feet. You've got a sticky planet underneath you. And then what I'd like you to do with that fishbowl on top of your head, so your head is always staying up. I want you to just loosen your, you've been jiggling, so get that jiggling feeling. Loosen that center of your body, loosen your knees, and then can you just sort of sit? And when you sit, can you keep your weight? Can you keep your weight on the full stickiness of your feet? And when you sit, can you keep your knees like pointing forward? Just kind of do that. Just kind of a little up and down. Reach, sort of that sense of reaching with your butt for not a really deep chair, but just a chair. And when you do, or do you start to go back on your heels? You start to go, so you know, what do you need to do? Play with that. Is it here? What is it? There will be a little bit of a tip. There'll be a little tip. I'll show you a picture next time of my grandson who can sit with his, sit like a gargoyle. Let's just put it that way. I'll show you a gargoyle picture of my grandson. But get that feeling and notice that when you do it right, you'll actually be working your quads, even if you don't go down very far. So if you have a sense of that, this is a great exercise. And what we're doing here is, you know, get that little jiggle. We're sort of relaxing that lower back. And then we can come up a little bit. And let's straighten the legs, but not lock them. And if you can, just keep that feeling like any second you're going to sit in a chair in your lower back. And that's going to relax that lower back area, which you may not have done in a long time. And then I want you to imagine this Tai Chi pole that's going through the very top of your head and down. I'm going to turn this way. So we've got our Tai Chi pole, we've got our feet stuck, and now we're going to, you know, just get a feel for those shoulders. All right, we're not going to do a lot of this today. You guys look like you are already well warmed up in your shoulders, but do what you need to do to feel warmed up. I want to point out my line to you folks again. That's the line of my Tai Chi pole. And I'm trying to keep it centered at this point and move it intentionally. All right, so how about if I bring my arms up? My arms up nice, droop those elbows, sort of hug a tree a little bit, let those elbows kind of relax, the shoulders relax, nice. A little bit of a dynamic tension here if we can. Beautiful, beautiful. And then here I am here, right? So they're kind of in front of me. Nice. And then I want you to just drop. Nice, lovely. Oh, I love the way you guys drop. Okay, and let's do the you do this, this. Right, see how those elbows just kind of stay, right? So check my elbows here. Can you kind of little by little get those elbows to keep the same rounded shape you had before as you move that? Nah, lovely, nice. So you could kind of do it this way, but no, I'm like a puppet that somebody has, yeah, lovely, Mary. A puppet that somebody's got my elbows, like, right? Nice, yeah, nice. You could be this puppet, right? All right, great. So we got that done, and we're gonna swing our shoulders a little bit. We'll be doing more of this next week. Next week, would you? I think we'll need it next week. It's either next week or the following week. Have a chair handy, like a kitchen chair, something like that. Something that's good. Yeah, this great job. And then we're going to put our knees together. Just check those knees out a little bit. Remember that lower back should be feeling that it's relaxed and good during this time. And then we're going to go into those ankles we were talking about earlier. There's a little bit here, but how about, actually, I want to do one other thing first. I want to just do some gorillas. So we did some jiggling earlier, so let's do some jiggling. But now, can you just imagine you got that fishbowl or whatever on top of your head? Thank you, Julia, and welcome. I see that Julia has, yeah, oh, you've taken it off. It's hard to jiggle with that on your head. Oh, she's able to do it. She's got like a soft thing on her head. Nice.
I couldn't work on my knees with it.
Can you become a gorilla kind of? Like, what does that feel like? Just be, yeah. Oh, well, fabulous. Right. When you're a gorilla. Yeah, I'm seeing people do this, number one, right? Seeing a little bit of this. This is going to be, if it's a powerful gorilla, but I want, there's a looseness we associate with that, isn't it? And I want the looseness here. I want the looseness here. This, do you see how my legs are just like, ow, right? Get that looseness. That's going to really help today. All right, so we're going to come over here, stand in the corner, and actually, no, we're going to do this. Sorry, it's Saturday morning. We're going to do this. Gorilla, a little bit of a gorilla here. Now, sticky planet, whole foot's on the floor. But what I want you to do is just move a little bit this way. And now imagine the weight and the pivot point at the center of your heel pad. Can you get that in your head? And then I want you to put your hand here and turn out. And in, and out, and in. And you notice it's your whole thigh. Now, there's two ways to do this. One way, when you turn out, is you could turn your whole hips. You see that? And you see what happens to my knee here, down here? Because my knee is floating out where nothing supports it. Now, watch a different way. I could turn this out. This one's still pointing this way. I'm only moving one hip. Can you do that? One hip. It requires that we build some flexibility in here. Okay? We call this our quad. Now, we're going to move ourselves over here. Get yourself down there. Jiggle, jiggle. Reach a little bit to the floor. Where are you going to move the weight? Heel pad on this other foot. Hand on your thigh. And pivot out. And does this one move at all? No, stuck to the planet, much better. The hip here might move this tiny little bit, and it's okay with me if you want your body to move, the upper body, that's not it. But I don't want to see this. Do you see? Not that. See? This is quiet. All right, we're going to do knee bumps, and they're going to help us, all right? Because it's a whole lot easier to do this when we're gorillaing. So gorilla, and we're going to just kind of dance. You see what I just did? Now, don't put your hip out like I just did. Stay straight. Bump. Back. Bump. Back. Notice that this leg is quiet. Nice. Out, in, out, in. If you are relaxed and bumping down, which like a gorilla, this will be easier. If you're up like this, you're going to hardly be able to turn out here at all. All right, you've got to unlock your pelvis. So a little bit of gorilla, out, in, out. Pick your speed, whatever works for you. All right, this is part of your homework for next time. New thing to do. We're going to be doing this a lot. Move your Tai Chi pole a little bit more over, right? Your weight's still on both feet, but now we're going to move it into the heel pad on this side, and we're going to gorilla and open this part. Did this one move? No. And we're going to bump. Bump, down, up. Down, up, down, up. If you want to dance, dance. If you don't, if you want to put your hands up, put your hands up. If you just want to bump, bumping works, right? Enjoy, enjoy. Notice that if you do this right and you're staying very aligned, this will be a workout on your quads, on your thighs. Okay, so keep yourself straight. You guys look like you're doing it. And if you want to speed up, you can. We're going to call these knee bumps and stop and check. Is this knee in the same direction as the toe? Is this knee in the same direction as the toe? Are we good? We're good. Let's do the other side. Bump. We want to build this as a habit. A habit. Then open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. We're going to stop, check. How we doing? All right. So part of our homework is to start using this in everything you do. If you're already doing Tai Chi this week, you want to think about that open close that's happening right here. If you don't already do Tai Chi, you want to check, because there's a lot going on, and we can open and close these hips. It's not like always both, but hey, could we do that? Why not? Some of you can. Get your weight a little bit more on your heels, and you can knee bump out to the side. Enjoy. You know, you might feel like you're a dancer, but that works, right? Right? And the knees are over the toes. We good? Anyone feel more quad work going on? Yes, no, maybe, yeah, yeah. Oh, Mariel says, yeah, for sure. Margaret says, yeah, for sure. Okay, you might feel it in several spots in your body. If you haven't been doing it, you may be tight. So acknowledge those tight spots and remember the 70% rule we talked about last time. All right, sounds good. All right, I want to go into one more thing here. So I want us to stand in the corner. Sorry, I'm gonna have to tie my shoe here. All right. All right, stand in the corner and gorilla a little bit so that you've relaxed. Get your fishbowl on top of your head and put your weight on the foot away from the screen. So for me, that's here, if you're mirroring me. I want you to turn out this foot, and I don't want any weight on it at all. Okay? I want you to do it the same way. Turn out this foot. Now I want you to unfold this foot and come back. I'm going to move back. So here we are. Turn out that foot. There's hardly any weight on this at all. Now there's none. My Tai Chi pole straight down to my heel. I'm balancing, come out, unfold, can take it back. Unfold, take it back. Unfold, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Now, some of us are looking like this. That's kind of interesting, but can you get that Tai Chi pole straight? Okay, see what you can do. Nice. All right, let's go to the other side. Bend those knees, a little bit of a gorilla. And we're going to turn this one out, all the weight on the foot away from the screen. And we're going to unfold, heel toe. And while we're here, why not? All big toe, little toe, right? What are you doing there? Whole leg rotating. So this is a great thing for your joints. Find out where your mobility is and isn't. Loosen that up. It's also really important for Tai Chi. On the other side, stand on the back foot, turn out, unfold, and Do that again, big toe, little toe, because we didn't do that before. All right, folks look great. I'm seeing very erect people, seeing some nice opening of that quad on various sides of that hip. You're turning the hip and you're freeing that hip by being a gorilla first. All right, we'll be doing more of this later. I want your imaginations ready to go. And this is really important that you really do it. It's really important that you, and I'm going to ask you to imagine. So I want you to really try what we're doing as we move forward. But first, before we do that, are there any realizations or thoughts or things that you want to comment on about what we just did?
I'm amazed my body still remembers a lot of this.
Oh, good, Julia. It's been a while. It's so good to see you. It's wonderful. All right. Yeah, it's important stuff, right? All right. And there's a lot of ahas for people here. So if there's an aha for you, please share it, because you're probably not the only one. All right. Anybody here ever done archery? All right. I see Crystal's done. Julia has done archery. Great. Archery is using a bow and arrow. Am I right? For those of you who have done it? Okay, I only did a little when I was a kid, but I do remember that we held it, and I'm kind of ambidextrous, so I'll try to do this. I'm figuring most of you are right-handed, so I'm just going to kind of mirror you here. You hold it in your non-dominant hand, usually. You hold the bow, you know, and there's a string on it, and you pull that string, and you look and you shoot, right? So imagine that for a moment. I want you to literally imagine that you're holding it in whatever hand you hold it in, sort of turn to the corner and aim and fire. Okay, and you can go ahead and have that fishbowl on top of your head, or don't worry too much about it, and fire. Okay, so this is wonderful. This is too easy for you guys. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to throw it to you. You're going to have to take a step forward, catch it, and shoot. Right? So we're just going to do that. Ready? So here's your bow. Grab it, reach it, and shoot. Right. Okay. Again, way too easy for you. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Nice. What we're going to do is we are going to want to throw it to you, but where are you going to be? You know that is something I do, right? I had you guys on the Sticky Planet last time, or in Magnetic Boots, or with Furry Friends, or whatever. So where are you going to be? You are going to be where I was once, which was up on a rocky knoll near Hadrian's Wall in a gale. Okay? So that means there was a lot of wind. My hair was like going back. I wasn't actually doing archery at the time. And the terrain was very uncertain. It was rocky. And I had never been there before, not to mention that there were cow pies around. Okay? So I'm going to throw this to you. I don't want you to forget uneven terrain up on top of a mountain, basically, and rocky, and all of that. Like you've been someplace like that, put yourself there, but now there's a gale there. It's going to clear up shortly and it's going to be beautiful. But for right now, there's a gale there. I'm going to throw this to you. You've got to grab it, aim, and shoot quickly, okay? And you've got to reach out and move to grab it. Everybody clear? All right, so don't forget the rockiness. We're going to do it 2 or 3 times, right? All right, so here we go. I'm throwing it to you. Grab it. It's rocky. It's windy. Aim, fire. Okay, let's do it again. Just want you to do it again. Ready? Reach out, grab it, shoot, don't move. Okay, let your hands come down and look at your feet. I have some questions. Okay, don't move your feet. Just look at them, take stock. Look at your feet, look at your knees, look at your back. Take stock. What do you see? We'll do it one more time. I don't want you thinking about your feet. I want you thinking about doing this task I want you thinking about rocky, windy. Okay, ready? Here we go. I'm throwing it to you. It's rocky, it's windy. Grab it, shoot. Now, I want you to freeze and look at what happened to your body in that moment. Is anybody standing with their feet together? Everybody's shaking their head no. Okay. Is anybody standing with their legs straight? No. All right, we have unanimity here so far. We won't have unanimity the whole time. Okay, so we've put our feet somewhere apart and all of that. I want to know if your feet are parallel or if your one is off in a different direction. Okay, what do you think? Okay, so you're going to have to tell me, or you're going to have to tell me either with your hands or. Aha! So Will is going like this, right? Will, something like that. And John is going like this. I am like wide apart, right? So there's also a wide apart, and they're not parallel wide apart, right? Okay. And I'm seeing that from Margaret. I can't. Is it like this, Margaret, or is it kind of like this? Okay, you got to turn towards the can. Okay, one of them is like this a little bit. Okay, there you go. So I'm hearing that we're not parallel, and that nobody's like this, and that some people have gotten very far apart. Well, if you got very far apart, how the heck did you do it? Did you bend your knees? Must have bent your knees a lot, right? Okay, I want you to experience this one more time before we do much else and see if there's anything else you do. I don't want you to be excessively conscious when you do it, but then I want you to take stock of where you are and what happens. Ready? Here we go. It's rocky, it's windy. Grab it, get yourself there. Okay, and take stock of where your body went. Anything else to report? Yeah, I see Mariel saying, I'm like this. Yeah, and Julia and everybody. Okay, all right. So why would your body do this? Number one, I want to point out that your body did something, and almost everybody's body did the same thing. So your body knows that when it's going to be tough, when you're going to have to keep your balance, when you've got a job to do, there's certain positions that work best for it. So one of the really important lessons I want you to take from this activity is you already know in your body, if you'll just listen to it, about Tai Chi. So when I tell you to do something and it doesn't feel right, you can push back a little bit. It's a really important thing to do, right? Say, my body's going, whoa. And I may tell you to try it a little more, but your body knows a lot. And we're going to try to explore some of those relationships that you know. And everything that you folks discovered about this is something really important to the bow step and to stability. So if you want to continue to warm yourself up, and I want you to listen and watch. This is a kind of a learning thing now. I want you to, let's go over what those things are. And if you want to unmute and tell me, what do you think is more, or if you want to say this or whatever, it's fine. What do you think is more stable? Me looking like a golf tee, or me looking like this, or me looking like this? Which is more stable? Yeah, something like this. And in general, it is the case that wider can be more stable, and we'll talk about that in a minute too. But there's a trade-off. Maybe I'll just say it right now. There's a trade-off between stability and agility and stability as you get too wide, right? So somebody who's really agile and in shape. So those of you who found yourselves going down, you're probably, you're probably like Neo, you've got a lot of agility in your body and a lot of flexibility. Those of you who found yourselves only this far apart, your body probably knew it didn't have that agility, so it didn't take that risk. Your body knows, right? So that's what it is. But this, not very stable, right? No matter how hard I try, not very stable. This, or variations on this that are wider that can be done. Look, I'm stacked up. Shoulders, hips, feet, right? And I can dig in. I can dig into a planet. So great, I've got all the stability I want this way, right? But what about this way? Not much. This was rocky, windy terrain, or we're doing a martial art, or we're trying to dance, or whatever, I mean, when are you more stable, right? So what happens now? What happens now if, and I'm gonna sort of turn this way, just for fun. Okay, so you'll be able to see the directions better. So this way, we said this works, right? This way, right? I'm now standing on the diagonal, right? In case you can't see that. But there's a real problem this way, right? And similarly this way. So if I got a push there, that wouldn't work very well. Well, what happens if I'm not? If I'm not like this, but one is out, which guess what? Those of you who were talking to me said that's what happened, right? They were not parallel. What happens now? Put yourself in a position like that, bend your knees, gorilla a little, and feel. You still have pretty good stability this way, don't you? Is your stability now improved forward, back? It does have some improvement. And depending on, if you get it just right for you, it has pretty good stability. Right? It has like this, if you think of forward as where one of your toes is pointing. You see how my toe is pointing this way? One of my toes is pointing this way. And back is this way. It's not bad. It's better forward because my toes are pointing that way, but it's not bad back. And how about out here? Not very good out here. All right? Not very good out here. But how about here? Nice. How about here? Nice. So out of these 8 directions, one turn of 1 foot took us from 2 to 6. Now we only have 2 weak directions. So that's what your body was doing. Your body was trying to maximize your stability. And when it was really worried about stability, it went even lower, and you bent your knees, and you probably gorillaed some. We didn't talk about that. You probably didn't do this, right? This didn't look like you, right? Did anyone look like this? No. You probably looked like this, not like this. This is not the curve we want in Tai Chi, right? Not a good one for us. And notice that when you're in a bow like this, you see my bow? The bow step actually is not called a bow step because we're using a bow and arrow. The bow step is called the bow step because of all the bows in it. So it's got a bow. You see this bow right here? It goes from this, remember the slinky last week? Nice bow there. I'm going to turn. Same step. Same step. This is what you had. Let's see. There we go. You had 1 forward and 1 off to the side, right? You see the bow? Now you don't get the bow if you don't keep your thighs in the same direction as your knees. Do you get that? And you see how difficult this is on my body, right? Somebody puts a weight on top, I'm going to hurt my knee. So that turning out we practiced earlier is really, really important in the bow step. Questions on this? Is this like news to anybody? Is there cool stuff here? Okay, I'm seeing some hands up. All right. I know it's the beginning of the class, you know, it's really hard to talk to each other, but it helps to talk to each other in all of this. All right, we're going to work on this a lot more in the weeks that come, but this is really important, and I want to right now demonstrate with you how we move into this step. So if we can put ourselves shoulder width apart, nicely centered, and we're gonna shift our weight just a little bit onto this side and do what we did before, right? We're gonna think about the pad of our heel and like a pin in it, we're gonna pivot on that heel, okay? So what are we gonna do? Open out here. I'm sorry, I wanna do this on the other side. I wanna do this on the other side. I'm mirroring you. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna open out here, and then we're gonna sink. And as we sink, we're gonna move our Tai Chi pole over here. Can we move it over here completely? Can you get stable? You may have to come up a little to feel like you can be stable. Find that stable spot. Can you lift this up? Put it down, and we're gonna kind of do that again. We're going to come up. We're going to do it on the other side. Coming over, out here, knee bump, move Tai Chi pole. Nice. Can we pick this up? I want that Tai Chi pole stable. This is an exercise you can practice. Let's come up and close. Close that here. And a little bit over here. And out. And sink. Over. Nice. Now, can you pick this up and unfold it right along railroad tracks? You see my railroad tracks? Can you bring it back? Good job. And we're going to just come up and over and close. And then whether we're here and out and down. And can we just go ahead and unfold? Heel and back and up and close. And over here a little bit so that we can come out, sink, Tai Chi pole over the foot that's out to the corner, unfold. Now, can we go ahead and start to root? Sticky, sticky, sticky. Feel the stick. You got the stick? I want you to start putting that foot down and watch your Tai Chi pole as you do. I don't want you to bend your knee yet. I just want you to kind of move your Tai Chi pole to the center a little bit and let it turn. It's okay if it turns. Then bend your knee and turn that Tai Chi pole. Make sure that Tai Chi pole turns. And I see that the angle here is not the greatest on the thing, but my Tai Chi pole is like right in the center of these two lines. It's just not the best to see. And my knee is now bent and it is in the same direction as my front leg. Now, let's go back. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to push with the front foot. We're going to start bending because it probably your back leg straightened. We're going to bend and we're going to turn our Tai Chi pole. And then we're going to move it over onto the side. See that? And we're just going to bring that foot back. All right? And we're going to come up and center ourselves and get ourselves centered. Over, out, down, over, unfold, stick, moving forward, push with the back, stick, absorb with the front. And then there's a moment when they're both bent and we're in the center. Well, actually, they're not quite both bent. This one's still a little straight. And we're more in the center. And we're going to turn our Tai Chi pole here. Some people talk about turning their hips at that point, right? So you feel very open to this corner. Check your knee. Are you good with those knees? And then you can come back. We're going to be working on this more. But this is bow stepping. Okay, and some of you who were just in my last class will find this a little different because we did it from a different starting position, but you're still going into a bow step. This is the bow step that is used in all sorts of what we do, right? And it's going to be used in our first, the first thing we're going to be learning. So all the skills you're learning now are going to be used again and again and again and again and again. So you want to start out with a good bow step. More to come with this bow step, and we'll have this video out for you. We have not really gone over prepare, which we learned last week, or opening, which we learned last week. What I want to do is go over prepare, over opening, and then do some cool down exercises with you. But before we do, I just want to make sure there isn't any like, oh, but I didn't ask this question and I want to practice this week. Is there something folks have on their mind or an insight that they want to share? Margaret.
I think it's kind of easy for me to overuse my knees and not my hips. Yeah. And I need to bend a lot to get on the weight on one foot in order to move the other, or the weight on one side, rather, not foot on one side in order to pick up my other foot. I really got to bend it, or I'm way off.
So try what I do, which is put like you can always put your Zoom on, and just kind of take a look, and you can even put a line, or wear something that gives you a line. This has a zipper here. This is part of why I wear these. But it may or may not. I mean, you can sway and not be bending your knees much. You see that? Like I could do that. Now the problem is eventually my hip will come out. You see that? Unless I bend my knee a little bit. I don't have to bend my knee very far. The other thing is you can come up. I may not have said that. You can come up on your toe here. That's going to give you some leeway. So as you come over here, you can come up on your toe on the other side and let this knee bend, okay? And then you don't have to bend as far or be as strong. The other trick is don't take as big steps as I do, because I'm taking big steps in order to show you, but how far you can unfold and how far you can step out in this direction is completely dependent on your strength here and how much you've been able to turn out. And yes, you do need to have this hip towards the corner at this point in order to really unfold and step here if it's at all large. Okay, so I've turned, you see how my hip is there, and then my Tai Chi pole is coming to the center, and then I'm kind of turning on that Tai Chi pole as I bend my knee. So it doesn't have to be far forward. It doesn't have to be a big bend of the knee. If it's not a big bend of the knee, you're definitely going to need to feel like you're turning a little bit at the beginning and then unfolding, and it may be a little harder to go this way. But you see how my step is not as big as if I bend it here. So your unfold is going to be completely dependent. This is a really good point. Thank you, Margaret. And you have small shoulders, and you don't have to quite be shoulder width, or it looks to me. Maybe you're just in good shape. Any other comments? All right, good question. Thank you, Margaret. All right. Let us prepare. The first and quickest thing to do is to stick or root your feet. Feel them connected. Sort of gorilla, your middle body. Feel it relax. Feel the top of your head flattening and rising up gently, as if there's just a little bit of magnetic attraction. So you have this dynamic stretch. You are very much pulled down and gently also pulled up. Lovely. And your body is suspended, just hanging there. This is prepare. I'm going to turn sideways, but you stay right there. I'm going to think to myself all of those points that we just went through. My feet, glued, heavy. My upper body light and rising and extending. Dynamic expansion throughout my whole body. Center. My spine completely centered. And now I'm going to go into opening. My knees are soft, but not bent. I'm going to have this expansion that happens across my shoulder blades. When that happens, I'm going to connect that expansion to my upper arms. My shoulders stay relaxed. And what happens? My arms rotate, palms back, and they start to rise. Remember that lever we had last week? That extension continues as the arms float up. When they get to shoulder height, there's this drooping kind of in my elbows. And now what was I doing? Pushing. Pushing what? A ball that had been floating, but now I'm pushing it into the water. It resists me. Oh, what's that moment when my control over the ball won't quite be good enough? Are your knees still relaxed? This is opening. We're going to do it again. Across our back. That relaxed stretching now, not just up, down, but sideways, turning us, and the arms lever float up, extended. They continue that extension, but now there's this wave that starts as the elbows droop and I push down. I'm still centered. It's like my prepare stays there. But here I am at opening across my back, rotating, lifting, levering, stretching, up to shoulder height. The wave begins and I push. Now what if we took this wave into our entire body? Prepare. We're going to do Master Yan opening. Master Yan's wellness exercise coming up. Only now, when we droop those elbows, we're going to start to sink, bending our knees and moving down. Same upper body, but now we've sort of sat in that chair. Then we're going to push with our knees, generating power that comes all the way up into our arms, as they rise. And then push the ball. Just an exercise now related to opening. Rising up, extending, feeling the very tips of your fingertips. Coming up, worst of your legs powering, coming up through your body, out your fingertips, out the top of your head, pushing down. Inhaling. Exhale. Now we're going to do another exercise called Rock Spreads Its Wings. We're going to start to come up the same way, but come out. Now that stretch is there, but there's always a circle. It's a giant West Coast tree. Exhale. Feel the tree. You're hugging the tree. Your shoulders are still relaxed. Your elbows still relaxed. You could breathe with this tree. Inhaling. You're glued to the tree. You're one with the tree. Except you're not. Now your arms are wings and the air is coming through your feathers. It's the same movement, maybe very subtly changed by the fact that now you're beating giant wings in. As the giant rock spreads its wings, you feel the power ready to beat in. And then storing that power as you expand and beat. And we're going to bring our arms down and crossing, reaching on top of warm sand, grabbing up like Kelly does, sand, maybe rising, the same. And again, dragging our fingers through the sand, rising up. One more time. Fingers through the sand. Thank you.